Hi there, beautiful people. Thank you for being here and welcome back to Happy Talks, where we talk about happy things. You have seen the prior video about World Cup cricket coming up and my excitement and my thoughts on about the event. Now we are going to check out some interesting things about what I am looking forward for. The biggest thing that we all hear about when we watch the game is the commentary. So today we are going to take a look at the commentators that are going to broadcast the mega event and my thoughts on it. And feel free to contribute with your thoughts after watching the full length of the video. And before we jump into it, if you like my content, don't forget to click subscribe. And I thank you for being here again, and your support and encouragement is well appreciated. So let's go. So for this World Cup, we have about 31 total English commentators. That is quite a lot, but considering the volume of the games and the number of arenas that is spread across and all the countries that are participating, it is not too surprising. But the interesting part that caught my attention is in the recent years, with the evolution of all sorts of T20 tournaments, either international or domestic or wherever the location is, we have seen a lot of female contributors into the broadcasting side of cricket, which is a great sign to see. I always welcome and encourage, and I was looking forward to see how many of them are going to be in this World Cup. Out of 31 commentators, we have 5 female commentators. But I do not know, looking at them, if they're actually going to call the game sitting in the booth or if they're just going to do the interviews like a pre-match, post-match, toss type of interviews. But my take from seeing their names in the list of commentators is that they're actually going to call the game. Some of them are recognized, actually have played international cricket. So I'm looking forward to hear that out on the game calling booth or the commentary booth being shared with female athletes as well. That is such a welcoming sign and welcoming growth, and in the not just the awareness to develop women's cricket, even though this is men's event, but I think women commentators calling out the game has further reach to female athletes in the remote parts that are watching the game. I think it's a great sign. But I am a little depressed at I shouldn't say depressed, but disappointed at the low number of that. I'm thankful to see them. I don't think we have seen, a decade ago or even, last 15 years or so, we haven't seen any female commentators. I am thankful and happy to see them coming and emerging. But I'm a little bit disappointed that there's only 5 in a lot of 31. So the 5 we have are Lisa Sthalekar, Anjum Chopra, Katie Martin, Cass Naidu, and Natalie Germanos. Thank you for the organizers for selecting female commentators. Some of these other commentators we have been seeing from decades and decades. And it is such a welcoming sight to have new flair into the broadcasting side of this mega event. I haven't personally heard any of them calling the game for any extended periods than just while watching the highlights. So I wouldn't even recognize any of their voices, but some of the male commentators I can tell from watching the whole games growing up. But some of these commentators I know may not be cricketers professionally, but they might be calling good. But the part I am looking for in this commentating in this World Cup is to give some meaningful insights into the game, meaning, things that you do not see obviously on the screen. When a player plays a straight drive, for example, straight drive, great straight drive, yes, everybody can see that it's a great straight drive. Give us some insights into the technique behind so people watching can understand the technicalities and the difficulties behind it. These professional athletes play extravagant, beautiful shots that makes it that they make these shots look so incredibly easy. But commentators, please help viewers understand the intricacies behind these things, the technical thinking, the thought process of how all things should happen, because former players have the experience of doing these things firsthand. Some of the commentators, they just call this beautiful straight drive. Yes, I can see that. I don't need somebody calling that out. Again, I'm not criticizing. I'm just looking forward to seeing some new flair into the commentating or the commentary of the game to make it more exciting. Reading out the stats, meaningless stats, for example, on the streets, on the screen. Come on, how is that going to make the viewer get excited about what is going on and get more involved into the game? The most meaningless stats, I call them meaningless stats. I do not know if there is a better phrase for it or better term for it. Let me know if you know. These meaningless stats will be displayed on the screen and they will just be called out, not just read out exactly what is on the screen, as if you cannot read what is on the screen. That could truly be the case. If you have a large screen and sitting from very far, you couldn't see the fine print on the bottom. But just reading out what's on the screen, yes, you have to give some additional insight to it. Please make it interesting. These meaningless stats, and I have a set of them in mind that are often being flashed on the screen. But the most annoying meaningless stat is, yes, it's a statistic. I'm not discounting that, disagreeing that it's not a statistic. But for a viewer, what excitement does it bring? The number one meaningless statistic of that category is number of sixes, 45th six or 95th six of the tournament. What the heck does that mean in the context of the game? It has no bearing, no nothing, no significance. It's of no value to the contest that is going on. It doesn't matter if there is no six hit at all for 10 days into the game. It has no bearing. The boundary, the six, or why don't they say the same stat with the wickets? 96th wicket or 50th wicket. No, there is no such thing. Because that stat is a made up meaningless stat. Number of sixes. Why don't they say number of boundaries? Yes, sixer is an exciting thing. Yes, when the ball goes beyond the boundary, it is very exciting. Meaningless stats. Nowadays we have some extraordinary technology to provide deep data analysis, to give some meaningful information for the viewers to keep it interesting. I don't have to tell what they have to do, but there's so many things to keep it more interesting. Please don't just call beautiful shot played down the ground. We can see that. And there are some cricketers that call the game like they have never played before. You can obviously tell they do not have much. I'm not going to call out any names. This is just my, personal experience. You can tell they do not have much international experience. And they will be just calling out like, how do you say that? One will give the technical analysis and one will give the actual color commentary. So they're just giving color commentary. Literally, the term color commentary comes to life when certain people are commentary, providing commentary by calling the shots like that. And please don't be biased. Please do not be biased. Yes, they try to be fair in the choice of the words and the usage of the language, in either appreciating either the bowler or batter, depending on who has performed well, or who is whether if the batter hit a boundary or bowler took a wicket. They try not to show the bias in the choice of words, but please do not show it in the excitement. Don't get too excited, overly excited, to make it obvious that you are rooting for the team. Basic 101, in my opinion. Please be fair. Please be fair. And don't get too hung up by going deep dive into these meaningless stats. I am looking forward to see some interesting stats being discussed. Yes, it's a fast moving game. The ball is being, bowled every 30 seconds or 45 seconds on average. I don't know the time interval, but yes, the game moves along. But give some interesting things, like, for example, how many times if Virat Kohli crosses 20 runs, how many times has he converted those 20s into 50s? Make it interesting. This is the biggest grand event. Don't make it sound like any other blah event, please. I'm hoping the broadcasters and the studios and the team does some thorough homework on all those type of things, and to keep it very informative in an entertainment plus in a captivating way. You should be looking forward to understand what is happening, not just the score. There is a lot more happening that you need to understand. The think tank that goes behind on each phase of the game. When they make a bowling change, it's just not a simple bowling change. There is some thought to it. What is your perspective on why the bowling change? Things like that. I am not a professional to go into deeper points to explain or talk about what I am looking forward to, but there is a plethora, ton of those things to talk about. Make it interesting, please. And the other thing is, I've mentioned there is only 5 female commentators. I am interested to see how much time are they going to get behind the mic. They better not do it where somebody is listed for a game and being asked to sit behind the mic only for 30 minutes for the whole game. That is not right. I'm hoping such things will not happen. And the other piece of this is that, who is your favorite commentator? So, favorite commentator, for me, the things I look for somebody to be my favorite commentator is, number one, unbiased, regardless of what your hometown is, or what your home team is, or what your favorite team other than your home team is. Unbiased, absolutely unbiased during all phases of the game, during all kinds of action that is and excitement that is happening during the game. That is one quality. The other quality is providing the underlying technicalities, the thinking, or the details, or the finer points that are not obvious, and also not just reading out the screen. So, and there is few other things too, but these are the bigger ones. The other things is one of the few other things that I'm not going to go too much is, they keep it on a lighter tone. They keep it on a lighter tone in the sense that they don't open up debates, they don't open up controversial things, they don't open up confrontational things. Just keep it on the lighter tone at a very professional level. So my favorite commentators that, in my opinion, that does that are 2. It's a tie actually. I'm not biased. because both of them are from New Zealand. One is, I have to look up to say his name properly, Simon Dole. Sir, thank you very much for all you do. And the other one is Nasser Hussain. Nasser Hussain also does very well. Very well. I mean, both of them are native English speaking commentators. That doesn't mean I am biased one way or the other. It is just absolutely treat to watch for me. I enjoy watching the game when Simon Dole is commentating. It is really, really good. I am very curious to know who your favorite commentators are and what are the things that you look for in the commentary while you are watching the game. And I am hoping there is a lot of excitement and fun trivia type of things involved, and also, some kind of nostalgic moments being shared by these expert cricketers or former cricketers. And I am curious to know what all the things that you look for and who is your favorite commentator. And I am hoping to see more of these female commentators, and I'm looking forward to enjoy the game with them doing the commentary. I haven't seen the whole game. Of course, I'm going to catch only the highlights of this tournament, but I'm looking forward for it. Let me know what your thoughts are, and don't forget to click subscribe if you like. Give me your comments, feedback, and like. And I'm looking forward to do more reactions to the games and the news that happens throughout the tournament. And I'm looking forward to share my thoughts and excitement and the joy of enjoying the game with all of you. Make it interactive, and I'm looking forward to hear from you. Thank you very much. See you all in the next video.